Underway at the Etihad, two of the season's fiercest rivals, one of this term's defining clashes, and everything to play for. City are here chasing history, Chelsea determined to claw back their dominance. The title race hangs in the balance, and Helen Ward, this is all set up to be a BWSL classic.
It is, yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see who wants to get the game by the scruff of the neck early on. As I said, I've seen Chelsea a few times this season. It's taken them a while to get going in games. Can they put the foot on the gas and put Manchester City under pressure early on?
Arsenal were fast starters at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea on the weekend. It seemed to catch them ever so slightly cold, the Blues. They are in possession of the ball here with Brighton out now for Vila Berman. Cuthberts. Kasparai back there helping out Blinkilla Brown. And winning her sides. A reprieve of a free kick too. Andre Jeglerts has urged his Manchester City side to stay humble, even with this 9-point lead over Chelsea. On the other side of the fence, Sonia Bonpastor was blunt after last weekend's slip to Arsenal, claiming the title race was probably over. She has since walked back those words, insisting that Chelsea will never give up, even after a rare wobble 8 days ago. Here's Rose. Has been an ever-present for City in the back line. She's gifted that one to Baltimore. Cup time. Scorer of the Subway Women's League Cup semi-final winner. And these two sides met last month. Rose for Canuck. It is a partnership which has forced Alex Greenwood into a wider position, although she's surging forward almost like a number 10 as she's able to make space for Hemp. As it goes to Greenwood, Hemp will get a second chance to deliver. Kasparai climbing, and that one is safely behind for a Chelsea goal kick.
You can already see a lot of rotations. I think Chelsea have gone with their usual back 3 or 5, however you look at it, but Baltimore was tucked right in at one stage during the build-up of that Manchester City move, and whether they're going in a system that's a bit more player-oriented than shape. Lauren James right out on the right-hand side at the moment, so I wonder if she's changed shape today, Sonia Bonpastor, just to try and create something different to what they've been struggling in the last few games. Maybe just switching it up a little bit in terms of their system.
She's chasing her 50th Chelsea win. Sonia Bonpastor today. This is her 63rd game. Only Joe Montemuro, I should say, did it in fewer games. Back in the 2019 season. 50 wins in 61 matches. Forward it goes by Carpenter. Killer Brown back to Yamashita. Jade Rose can step out of defence and bring Kasparai into play. Carolyn finds Shaw. Shaw is looking for Miedema. That's a double act. We have grown so in sync this season. Carolyn just getting a bit too close there to Baltimore. She has been such a huge reason why Manchester City are on this incredible winning streak at the moment under Andre Jeglerts, winning each of their last 12 league games. It is the joint third longest run in BWSL history. In fact, only City themselves and Arsenal have ever racked up more consecutive victories in this competition. This current City side are just too shy of matching that record. Here's James. Away from Shaw, making it look so easy. Baltimore, Kaptein on the move. Thompson to aim for inside the penalty area. Baltimore's cross was stopped by Kasparai, and Manchester City will look to stream forward here with Shaw. And Carolyn a bit too hands-on with Naomi Gurma.
Yeah, just a little glimpse there of what Manchester City can offer in attack. Miedemar picking the ball up on the edge of her own box, finding a strike partner, Bunny Shaw. And Carolyn just a little bit too handsy there on Gurma, but you see the pace she's got, that she can trouble any of that back line for Chelsea.
Here's Lauren James. Switch of play by Bright is looking to bring Carpenter in. Easily dealt with by Alex Greenwood. Ellie Carpenter, though, one to look out for on that right-hand side. A buccaneering fullback. So she still has much more to give in the Chelsea shirts.
She's certainly been one of their bright performers this season, in my opinion. As you said, up and down that right-hand side, goals, couple of assists as well. You know, she's really hit the ground running, I think, for Chelsea this season. And they'll be looking to her, particularly with the absence of Lucy Bronze this afternoon. They'll be looking to her to get the majority of the work done on that right-hand side.
I was going to say, it really is a feather in her cap. She has been so impressive for Sonia Bonpastor that she's triggered that change in formation to be able to incorporate both Bronze and Carpenter within the same side. Here's Kaptein. Now Kira Walsh. Shaw will get there first. And Hemp will find her again. Gurma and Bright back covering. Here's Carolyn. Kasparai screaming for it at the far post. Oh, Hemp does eventually get the cross in, but that will evade everyone.
Yeah, very much like Carpenter, Kasparai loves to get up high on the right-hand side for Man City, doesn't she? Screaming there, hand in the air, looking for the early cross. Doesn't come to her, but she's up there as one of City's brightest performers herself, I think, this season. Been excellent on the right, really leads by example.
She's a preferred outlet for Manchester City under Andre Eglerts. 2 goals, 5 assists. Kirsten Kasparai from right back this season. But eased off it by Miedemar, and there's Shaw. Gurma and Bright for company, and Cuthbert it was who made the foul. And that is a free kick in a really good position for Manchester City, awarded by referee Mel Bergin.
Yeah, brilliant play from Viv Miedemar. I mean, we're so used to her being that pivotal striker for Arsenal for so many years. Now she drops into that number 10 position. Her passing is exceptional. She finds her teammates so often with such quality. Gives it to Bunny Shaw, who's obviously an absolute powerhouse. Cuthbert claiming she gets the ball, but she does go through the back of the Jamaican international there, and you're looking at somebody perhaps like Alex Greenwood. Her eyes will be lighting up at the prospect of hitting this one against her international teammate Hannah Hampton.
She did strike a free kick off the frame of the goal in their earlier meeting this season. This one, a better angle, much more central. Oh, Miedema has eyes for goal too. Greenwood awaiting instruction from the bench. Will it be her left foot or will it be Miedema's right?
Not bad options to have either way, is it?
You can feel the tension building here. After just 10 minutes of this top of the table clash, Manchester City presented with an opportunity to draw first blood against Chelsea. Touched off by Miedema, it was Greenwood who hit it straight into the wall. Keep their taller players forward as Miedema sends that one back in. Canark will settle for the corner.
Yeah, disappointing in the end, hitting the wall. Not sure it needed the touch forward from Miedema for Alex Greenwood, but obviously something they've worked on. Dangerous looking cross from Miedema and headed clear for a corner. Saw something a bit different there from that last set piece. Kasparai's corner looks to be a bit more conventional. And here's Kasparai who swings this one in. Plenty of height on it, away by Berman. And Carolyn will win a second corner, Lauren James. Just trying to find their feet, Manchester City. Certainly the team on top at this very moment.
Sure, Canark, the obvious targets. Rose is up there too, Jade Rose. Was in swinging last time. Now out swinging by Kasparai, teased into a really dangerous position. And it's Carolyn on the follow-up, and it's squeezed all the way through. And the league leaders tighten their grip on the title. Carolyn, who has been in red-hot form this season. That's yet another goal contribution in the BWSL.
Yeah, really dangerous set piece. Kasparai, I think it's Miedema at the near post, makes the most of it, flicks it on. A little bit of a scramble in the penalty area. Hannah Hampton couldn't get anything on it. I think it's cleared away from her hands from Burnham, and then really clean strike. Does take a deflection or two, but she hits it well, and the pace that she gets on the ball just deflects it past the helpless Hannah Hampton and Erin Cuthbert from a Chelsea point of view. A couple of deflections in there, but the pressure had been starting to be put on Chelsea. Manchester City find themselves in the perfect position at this stage in the game.
What a season she is having. Means Carolyn has now scored or assisted in each of her last 7 BWSL appearances. That one may well be the most important one yet.
Yeah, she's really been given time to settle into this City side, and starting to see that now. She's really, really enjoying her football. So much about her pace, technique, work rate, and she can finish. She's having a really, really good time at the moment.
It is polarising, isn't it? The difference in emotions between City players' jubilation and Chelsea wondering how it's going wrong again.
There's no surprise to see Manchester City scoring from a set piece. I think that's their 8th from corners, 12th altogether from set piece situations this season, and they do make it count, even if the first initial contact isn't what they want or isn't in a direct goal. They stay in and around the box and they make it count.
You are right. Incredibly, it is the first time that Chelsea have conceded from a set-piece this season in the BWSL. They arrive into this game boasting the best defensive records. They've come unstuck there, thanks to Carolyn's deflected strike. Sagawa turning away from trouble. Back by Baltimore, here's Kaptein. But in space, does have experience of scoring at this stadium against Manchester City, of course. 91st minute winner here in a 2-1 victory for the Blues last March. Walsh's delivery, looking for Thompson, couldn't take it in her strides. That's why we'll see it all the way out.
There's a really good ball in there. Really should have done better, I think, Thompson, trying to get hold of that. It was half an opportunity, but yeah, decent delivery. Chelsea have got to do some more of that.
Berman in field for Erin Cuthbert. James angling one in towards Kaptein, who was in an offside position. It was very nearly deja vu for Vika Kaptein, who had headed the winner against Manchester City in the League Cup. This time round, ruled out by the offside flag.
Wow, that is very close, and that's a warning shot for Manchester City and the goalkeeper. She's got away with one there, so I think she should be doing better, but Kaptein does that so well. She makes those late runs into the box, and with someone like Lauren James on the ball, you know that the delivery is going to be good. That'll be a boost for Chelsea.
That's on by Shaw. Now Hemp has come a long way across the pitch to get involved. Sagawa was looking for Kasparai. Chelsea, just with enough players crowding around the edge of their own penalty area, are able to clear. Here's Canuck. Releasing Hemp, trying to find Shaw, but Kieran Walsh well placed. And has the presence of mind to lay that one wide. Sunday Baltimore on the move. 3 Blues players with her. Baltimore's cross manages to find his way through for Cuthbert. The shot was charged down. Carolyn can take over.
Oh, it's becoming a really good contest now, isn't it? Chelsea there, I just feel that they could get more numbers into the box when Baltimore looks up. Thompson initially was surrounded by the light blue shirts, needed a bit more support from her teammates. Kaptein makes a run later on, and Cuthbert arriving, but by that time City have got all their players back and are able to block the shot. Just need to get a couple more numbers. They don't seem to have a presence. Alyssa Thompson's a fantastic player, but as a number 9, her presence isn't huge. Lauren James is very deep. Can we get her higher up to try and support those forward players?
It was Sam Kerr, obviously, last weekend, who started for Chelsea. That was her first starts in the league this season. Pastor really doesn't feel as though she was ready to start twice in the space of 8 days, with all the options that she does have within her squad as well for rotation. Helen, you're right, they do need some sort of focal point up there to make the ball stick a bit more at the moment, Chelsea.
I also think it takes away from Alyssa Thompson's game. She's so good off this left-hand side at driving in, cutting onto that right foot, bringing others into play, but I feel that she's not going to get enough of the ball as that number 9 at the moment, especially if she continues to be so isolated.
A lovely ball through the lines there to find Miedema, who just ran it out of play. Certainly is a fluid system being deployed by Chelsea. Manchester City much more established in their roles on the pitch.
Yeah.
Now see Baltimore track out to almost be a left wing back again.
It does feel a lot more like a back four than a five today, I think, for Chelsea. I think you're right, there are some rotations and some fluid movement, but for me, I've got it down as Baltimore and James supporting Alyssa Thompson, captain just in the middle, almost a diamond of a front four, with Carpenter and Berman occupying the full-back slots.
Bursting forward there. An advanced role, not for the first time, is Alex Greenwood, who will get a crossing opportunity here. Helped on its way by Berman. Manages to slide in once more. Greenwood down the line, looking for Hemp. Hemp for Miedema, Miedema for Shaw. Killer Brown will help it on for Carolyn. And Brights can clear. Kasperai meets Berman again. Carolyn, the goal scorer. Nips in. No surprise to see Manchester City dominating possession. But it is that lack of a shot on target for Chelsea so far, just limited to the one shot overall. In terms of key passes as well, really struggling to work their way into those areas.
They are, yeah, and I think that is a lot down to, as you said, the established shape and system that Manchester City play. And looking at the appearances earlier, I think there's five City players that have started every game this season, and I think when they're five of your key players, you're looking at Miedema, Shaw, Kasperai, Hasegawa. You know, those are players in key areas of the pitch that they're just established in their roles. And whereas you look at Chelsea, none of their players have started every game in the BWSL this season. I think that makes a big difference in terms of consistency of performance.
Early cross in, Berman needs to be careful with Hasegawa sniffing around. Found herself a long way forward there, the Japan international. And that is one of the things that Laura Blinkiller-Brown has been saying in interviews since the start of this season. There has been a partnership at the base of City's midfield, which has allowed Hasegawa to be a bit more adventurous. Here's another look at how City did take the lead.
Yeah, just a moment there, and as it came towards Hannah Hampton in the goal, you wonder if communication is a little clearer. Could she have come and claimed that? Instead, you've got Berman trying to hook it clear, doesn't go far enough, and of course lands at the feet of Carolyn, who punished them with no problem at all, and just feels a little bit scrappy for Chelsea at times.
Cuthbert was looking for the advancing Baltimore. Yamashita will just clear City's lines. All down by Germer. Done well to work that one wide for Carpenter. Oh, her delivery slipped all the way through and Jade Rose had to pounce. Recycled by Walsh. Carpenter's ball over the head of Kaptein. It's a lovely switch of play, just bounced up unfavourably. Here's Cuthbert. Prodded forwards. Kira Walsh, Kaptein on the move. Sandy Baltimore goes for goal. She wasn't too far away from finding that bottom corner.
Really good effort from Sandy Baltimore. I think she's just been named Chelsea's Player of the Month, and she's a box of tricks, and she's got an excellent strike on her. It's a really good effort, does everything right, trying to go for that far post, but just drags it ever so slightly beyond the far post. But that matchup against Kasparai is a really interesting one. Both players wanting to get forward, also trying to work back defensively for their teams.
On the lookout, Sandy Baltimore for her fourth goal in her last 4 BWSL appearances. Did score a brace against West Ham United 2 games ago. Right out for Berman. Kasparai out of position now as Lauren James can look to exploit down the left-hand side. Kasparai's done incredibly well to get back, not just once, but twice in that build-up.
Yeah, brilliant from Kasparai. You know, when Lauren James gets in those positions and gets one in front of the defender, you expect her to just produce a moment of magic and hold the ball off. It's very difficult to win the ball from Lauren James, but Kasparai sticks to her task really well.
Only at the expense, though, of a Chelsea corner. Manchester City took the lead through a similar set piece. Cuthbert goes short. It's Kira Walsh. Oh, she caught that one well. Beaten away by Yamashita. Tremendous amount of power on the drive. Canard can clear her lines. Here's James, trying to tease one in towards goal, and that is much more comfortable for the Japan international to deal with.
Yeah, Chelsea come back into the game a little bit more in the last few minutes. It's a really good strike, save you'd expect Yamashita to make, but a good hit from Kira Walsh. We know she's got that ability, not known for her goal scoring, but she can hit a ball from distance.
Hampton a long way from goal. German needs to be careful. Chelsea can breathe a sigh of relief. Baltimore in behind Kasparai. A lot of ground to make up here, the Dutch defender. And again, she has responded so impressively well.
Yeah, really top player. I know there's a lot of thinking that nobody wants to be a right back when they grow up as a kid, but if you can be like Kirsten Kasparai, you're doing pretty well for yourself. She's been so good for Manchester City this season, a real linchpin both in defence and in attack.
More assists than anyone else, more tackles than anyone else. Exactly what you want from your fullback. Out it goes, Walsh was unmarked again! Well, that's 2 sighters that she's had in the past minute or so.
Yeah, certainly something for Man City to be aware of. Bunny Shaw just about gets out there to put her under some sort of pressure, but still Kira Walsh gets a good shot off, and if that's on target, I think Yamashita's struggling.
There is something in the manager of the league leaders, will be addressing at half-time, if not before. It's his side, though, coming forward as we pass the half-hour mark. It's Carolyn. Right, having to come across to snuff out the danger. Baltimore for backup.
Yeah, Carolyn again showing her quality. Absolutely burns past Berman. Just thinking for a moment it was going to open up for a shot, but she wants to play it across. Brilliant tackle from Millie Bright, exactly what she's all about. And Lauren Hemp just trying to keep the ball alive, but Chelsea managed to see it out of danger.
Carolyn for Hasegawa. Rarely given away. No nonsense from Bright, actually turned into a useful pass. Gerber played ahead of Thompson, wasn't on the same wavelength. City seem firmly in control, although Chelsea, of course, have numerous options from the bench. Canuck. Walsh for James. She's able to use her strength and dexterity to bring Carpenter into play. Greenwood was alert to the danger. Right for Berman. Baltimore finding Erin Cuthbert, and it needed to be tipped over. Yamashita called into action again.
Yeah, brilliant save from Yamashita. And again, it's a shot from distance for Chelsea that's causing problems. Something that Manchester City will have to address, because yes, you'd rather limit them to shots from outside the area, but when they've got the quality of Erin Cuthbert, Kira Walsh and others, you're really taking a chance, allowing them the space and time on the edge of the box.
Cuthbert's corner, called in dangerously. Bunny Shaw doing her defensive duties. Here's Walsh. Carpenter stayed on side. Away by Hemp. And now James. Thompson. Hooked back in by Cuthbert. And there was a loud shout by Yamashita. And we were talking about shots before. Just look at how Chelsea have turned it round in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, it has been much better from Chelsea, hasn't it? I think starting to get themselves up the pitch. Yes, those shots have come from distance, but they've been of a decent quality. A couple of them on target, forcing Yamashita into good saves.
This is a fixture that Chelsea are usually so dominant in. They've won 7 of their last 8 against Manchester City in all competitions. As mentioned, they have beaten them twice already this season. Shaw looking to get round Germer and finish too. And City double their lead. And you can always count on Bunny Shaw. She was too strong, she was too quick, and she was far too clinical for Chelsea. And the league leaders are starting to run away with it.
Yeah, just as we thought Chelsea were getting into the game again, trying to play out of the back. Head into a danger area, Hasegawa and Miedema. Lovely ball through. I thought there might have been a foul given, but actually she was just stronger than Naomi Germer. And even when she slips and doesn't hit the shot quite as cleanly as she would have hoped to, Bunny Shaw can't help but score goals these days, and she is absolutely flying. One chance and it's in the back of the net. Fantastic from Manchester City. It's a trait of their game to win the ball high up. That's what they've done, and they've absolutely punished Chelsea for it.
It is a 14th goal in as many BWSL appearances this season for Bunny Shaw. She's unstoppable, she is inevitable, and she is well on course to a third 20-goal campaign for Manchester City.
And that'll be heartbreaking for Chelsea as well. Just as we were saying, they were getting back into the game. They'd started testing Yamashita in the City goal, and then you're hit by a sucker punch. City's press, so effective. Chelsea playing their way into trouble. You can't do that against this team. They will punish you.
Miedema on the run and is able to keep it in play too. Germer backtracking once again. Miedema back for Carolyn, who gets a second bite and a third. And somehow it squirms just wide. Well, City are so keen to put this game well out of Chelsea's reach.
Hannah Hampton's going absolutely ballistic at her Chelsea defenders. Carolyn's outnumbered by 4-1, and still she manages to get a back heel in on goal. It's not good enough from Chelsea. They're all over the place at the back at the moment. And City are just running riot when they want to.
Sonia Bonpastor was booked by Mel Bergin for her reaction to the second City goal. She wanted a foul on Germer. Instead, she gets a foul on Hampton. Kira Walsh looking long, finding James. James's ball, away by Canuck. Berman hasn't been able to get forward all too much on the left-hand side of Chelsea's attack. Baltimore here though. Kasparai so sharp, snapping into the 50-50s. once in the last 8 BWSL home games. Manchester City been able to beat Chelsea on their own territory.
This does feel like a very different Manchester City team, doesn't it, at the moment, though? I won't speak too soon, because we know Chelsea have got the quality. But
they're just so ruthlessly efficient, aren't they?
They are. They work so well in their units. If one player gets beaten, you know there's going to be somebody else behind them to back that up. Similarly, in possession, they're just up and around each other to support, whether it's lending little passes or finding the longer ones. They just know each other and each other's roles really, really well.
He's been very clever with the way that he's used his squad as well, Andre Jeglerts. Not massively changing his starting 11s. There's a few minor tweaks here and there. Keep people fresh, but crucially, keep the system that you know, that you recognise, just to develop.
And keeping people fit. You look at last season, the amount of games that Bunny Shaw, Viv Miedema in particular missed through injury. Alex Greenwood, Lauren Hemp. This year they've got a much more consistent team.
Baltimore's delivery away by Miedema. Carpenter fires it back goalwards. Germer losing out to Hemp. City could spring a counter here. Still a few moments remaining in this first half. Hemp has Hasegawa and Miedema making good ground with her. She uses Carolyn. Fired across the face of goal. Hasegawa wasn't too far away from meeting it. Germer turns it behind.
I'll tell you what, that is some move from Man City. You know, Bunny Shaw, we're so used to seeing her in and around the opposition penalty area, but she plays a wonderful ball out to Lauren Hemp. She waits for the over-up. Carolyn's there. Brilliant crossing. Hasegawa inches away from connecting. And just goes behind for a corner, but they are, as you said, they're just ruthlessly efficient in everything they do.
Kasperite right at the end of this first half, firing in another delivery. And this is one that Hampton claims. Shaw, meanwhile, requiring a bit of treatment. What do you think there, Helen, with the delivery in by Carolyn, looking for Hasegawa? I think even your eyes lit up from where we were in terms of what a good chance that was, just to put a head on it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic delivery from Carolyn from out wide. Just seen a replay here. I think Bunny Shaw maybe gets caught on the landing from Ellie Carpenter on her ankle. But yeah, Hasegawa, maybe if that's a Bunny Shaw or a Viv Miedema in that position, those predatory instincts kick in. But a fantastic run from Hasegawa. Probably deserved the goal for the effort she'd made in getting into that position, but just couldn't quite get a touch on it. And as you said, maybe going with the head would have been a better option for her.
And there it was. Bunny Shaw out-muscling Naomi Germer. 14 goals for the season in the league. She's flying high. City are flying high. And they are allowed to dream of silverware come the end of this season. That won't be a welcome sight for them, though. Good news is she's walking off. Bad news is there's a very definite hobble there.
Yeah, hopefully it's just one of those contact ones where initially it is really sore. Once your adrenaline kicks in again and you get it moving, you should be okay. Just this close to half-time is always a bit of a worry. Does it stiffen up over the half-time break? But fingers crossed she'll be okay. And just going back to the goal, I know Sonia Bonpastor's disappointed that there wasn't a foul given her. My instinct there, I thought there was, but seeing the replay, I think she was just stronger. I think Naomi Germer misread the bounce of the ball or the way the ball's gone through, tried to probably keep an eye on Bunny Shaw too much rather than just defending the ball itself, and Bunny Shaw was just a bit stronger and ended up being able to stick it in the back of the net.
Really good anticipation shown by Bunny Shaw. One of the attributes which maybe gets downplayed in her game. She's Certainly knows where to be placed. Very smart, intelligent striker, combined with the immense physicality that she has. Killer Brown, 3 minutes added on. Do City push for a third? Are they quite happy to just contain into the interval? One thing's for certain, Chelsea will be looking to just unnerve them with a goal just before the stroke of half-time. Expect them to ramp up the pressure here. These final instalments of the first 45 minutes. Cup time. Walsh. Irma for Carpenter. No way through. Greenwood's defending well over on that far side.
Yeah, read it all the way, didn't get fooled by any tricks or anything like that, just stands up, stands strong, gets the block in, really experienced, top defender Alex Greenwood.
Shouldn't they go again? Starting the pass into Walsh, probably wasn't the best from Chelsea. And James's delivery in for Bright, it was hooked goalwards and away by Shaw. Miedema commits the foul. So 60 seconds left on the clock at the end of this first half. Chelsea wasting no time. In it goes by James, headed back across by Bright and flicked over the crossbar by Naomi Girma.
Yeah, I think for me, Lauren James, we're not seeing enough of her in key positions, but when she is, inevitably she does tend to cause problems. Difficult one there for Naomi Girma to do much with. It's a very loopy header back from Millie Bright, but the more Chelsea can get Lauren James on the ball in those sort of number 10 higher positions, I don't want to see her stuck out on the touchline or deep in her own half. That's not where she's going to do damage. It's getting higher up the pitch and dropping those wonderful crosses in as she does to her teammates, and then it's up to them to go and punish Man City and get some more efforts on goal.
Miedema. Well, it is the league leaders who lead convincingly at the break, and the title race chasers who will be chasing this game in the second half. Carolyn's deflected effort it was that gave the hosts the lead up to just 13 minutes. And then, despite Chelsea ramping up the pressure, Bunny Shaw's goal has taken this game that little bit more out of Chelsea's reach. Half-time here is Manchester City 2, Chelsea 0. Melissa Thompson to get us back underway in this second 45 minutes. A second 45 minutes which could become a season-defining 45 minutes. Helen Ward.
Yeah, it could indeed. It'd be interesting to see how long Sonia Bonpastor leaves it before potentially making any changes. Manchester City know that more of the same, and they'll be home and hosed at least in this game, and probably in terms of the title race as well.
Key areas do you think the Chelsea head coach would have spoken to her team about at the interval? Well, maybe this is one, getting the ball forward a bit quicker to Melissa Thompson. Yamashita alert to the danger.
I just think the pairing of Blinkilde Brown and Hasegawa in the middle of the park for Manchester City has been so dominant, and that's probably because the likes of Lauren James have dropped so deep and played everything in front of Man City. So that central area of the pitch, I think, is a key part, and getting balls into the front line, into the box. All of their opportunities have come from distance. Can they work the ball into the box more often to try and get some shots on goal?
Well, they have had, Chelsea, a long monopoly over the BWSL. And the Hayes won it 5 seasons in a row. They made it 6 last season in Bonpastor's debut campaign. Coming into this season, they were favourites to make it 7 in a row. They have had wobbles before when they've stormed back to take the trophy. But they may just have given themselves too much to do this time around. Quality is there, but the air of invincibility that surrounds the club perhaps has been lacking this season.
And I think the quality of the opposition as well. We have to remember how good Manchester City have been this season. You know, aside from that very first game where they lost to Chelsea, they've been perfect. Their performances have been sensational, and I don't think Chelsea have had that level of consistent competition. Yes, in games they've been tested, but I think over the course of a season, teams have dropped points unexpectedly where you wouldn't expect them, a Chelsea side, to do that. But this season, Manchester City have been on another level.
Of course, last time out as well, Manchester City, they did show the resolve of champions against the resolute London City Lionesses team. It did take Andre Eglert's side until the 86th minute to score the winner through, of course, Bunny Shaw. Away by Hasegawa. This season, actually, they have all but matched Chelsea's start to a winning campaign. Baltimore into the penalty area. The cross was blocked by Blinkilla-Brown. Chelsea had the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, that's better, trying to work the ball in to the penalty area. We're seeing Sam Kerr getting ready. Hasn't taken her long to want to make a change of some kind, and that will give them a bit more of a focal point, perhaps. Alyssa Thompson, fantastic player, but doesn't, for me, suit the number 9 in this system.
Pastor has seen enough within the opening 3 minutes to determine that's what they need. As Cuthbert goes short, James touches it back to her. And Yamashita can punch away. Hit by Carpenter, blocked by Hemp. And off goes Carolyn. Two chasing her. Carolyn may well have the freedom of the Etihad here to wrap it up for City. It is brilliant. Chelsea exposed at the back as they looked to get back on in this game. And Manchester City just propelled forwards. And once again this afternoon, they were absolutely ruthless. Carolyn with her second, City with their third. And they look to be extending their lead at the top of the table.
I cannot tell you how well Carolyn does there. Of course, Lauren Hemp with the initial block, but this run, she's got the entire half to run into, but the touch there across Keira Walsh means that she cannot touch her. And then to have that presence of mind after making such a long run, having so much time to just dink it over what is one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment. That is a fantastic goal from Carolyn. She's composed throughout that, the touch across Keira Walsh and the little dink finish. That is a superb goal from Manchester City.
They aren't just beating Chelsea this afternoon, they are making a statement. The champions-elect, dominant. So Kanuskan has come onto the pitch, as has Sam Kerr. But even though it felt as though Sonia Bonpastor had gone very early in this second half with the changes, it may well now be too late.
Yeah, they've been absolutely rattled there within 5 minutes of the restart. You want to come out at 2-0, you get the first goal, all of a sudden it's game on. Manchester City know, on the flip side of that, if they score next, it makes their life a lot easier in the second half.
Confirmation it was Spurman and Cuthbert who left the pitch. Kerr and Kanuskan coming on. And this is a position that she is not used to. She's a perfectionist, Sonia Bonpastor. And her side have been picked apart this afternoon. First involvement for Kerr, finding Carpenter. Greenwood there every step of the way. James's ball. Away by Kasparai. Two Chelsea players lurking. Every City player back behind the ball. Baltimore's delivery. Happily ushered out to play by Greenwoods. He probably will admit that he wouldn't have expected his side to be 3 goals ahead against Chelsea within 50 minutes of this game. It may even get better for him. Not for Millie Bright.
Yeah, this is probably the most comfortable you could ever expect to be against a Chelsea side that are so used to winning, so used to getting their own way in terms of results.
Carpenter beaten to it by Miedema. And there's Hemp. And Carolyn's with her. And Carolyn's on a hat-trick. It will go to the Brazilian. And what a way to stamp your mark on the biggest blockbuster game of this weekend. City are flying towards this title. And there is absolutely nothing Chelsea can do to stop them.
Wow, she absolutely deserves that. And you could see as soon as Lauren Hemp picked up that ball, she was looking for her teammate. There was never any thought of going on her own. But again, it's Viv Miedema in that midfield, picking up the balls, pressing the Chelsea players, playing a great pass into Lauren Hemp, and then the weight of that cross, the timing of it. You thought for a moment that Naomi Girma was going to get back, or Sandy Baltimore, I should say, was going to do enough. But Carolyn, in the form she's in, the way she's playing, she was never going to let an opportunity like that pass her by. Hannah Hampton, maybe can she do better? But Carolyn deserves that hat-trick. What a wonderful performance from the Brazilian.
This does not happen to Chelsea. It is so unusual to see the Blues in this position, but that is how good Manchester City are. Andre Jeglerts has got his side playing some unbelievable football this season. They're exciting, they're dynamic, and they are so efficient in attack. It's not just that, it's the hard work defensively, and that's about to be tested here as Thompson goes for goal. It will be a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, another decent save from Yamashita. She's probably had a little bit more to do than a 4-0 scoreline would suggest, but all of them have been pretty routine saves. And again, it's a shot from distance. Thompson now on the left-hand side in what I think is a role more suited to her, and all of a sudden you see her with the ball at her feet causing problems.
Baltimore's corner. Yamashita commanding inside her 6-yard box.
As she was for the third goal, it was her punch that got City out of their box and on the way to a counter-attack. But I'm going to test your knowledge here now. I don't know the answer to this, so you could say whatever you want.
It's quite the setup, that one.
Are there any players that have scored a hat-trick against this Chelsea side in the BWSL era? There can't be many if there are. Can't be many teams that have scored more than 3 goals in a game against them, let alone players.
I can remember that Arsenal side blowing them away. 5-0, was it, a few seasons ago? Beth Mead got a couple. I'm not sure there was a hat-trick in there.
As I said, I don't know the answer to that, and it wasn't something I expected to necessarily come up today, but I just think it goes to show what an achievement that is from Carolyn and from Man City to be in this position now. 56 minutes, 4-0, player scored a hat-trick. Yeah, it says everything about this Manchester City side at the moment.
Cause for concern, though, as Yamashita requires the treatment. As you can see, despite Chelsea's fight back, those 5 City shots on target have equated to 4 goals, and that is the difference between City and other sides this season. We saw it last time out against London City Lionesses. London City matching them in almost every attacking metric, other than City absolutely peppering them with shots. And the big difference last weekend was both sides created 2 big chances. City took both of theirs. Today, City have done the exact same thing against superior opposition.
Yeah, they've been fantastic, really, from start to this point now, what, just under an hour played. There's been moments for Chelsea, but that's all they've been, fleeting moments, never really any sustained period of pressure. As we watch the goals back, you know, Chelsea will be disappointed with elements of all of them. But Carolyn, this is her hat-trick. It's just a fantastic 3 goals from her, all very different types of goals, but taken them all brilliantly.
She has doubled her goals output in the space of 57 minutes this season.
But she's done so much more than just those 3 goals for me today as well. Her work rate on that right-hand side, the way she gets forward, and she's almost the another point of attack for Manchester City.
Kaptein. Nusken looking for Kerr. Niedermar will draw the foul.
When you're in a team with a player like Bunny Shaw, where all the attention and all the focus is stopping her, if you can have someone like a Carolyn, a Niedermar, a Hemp, who can cause problems elsewhere, then it's all very well dealing with a problem like Bunny Shaw, but you have to deal with the rest of them as well, and that's what Chelsea have struggled to do today.
Luckily for Andre Eglerts, he has all 3, and Bunny Shaw. And it's Niedermar who's able to pick the pocket of Lauren James. And Millie Brights will slide in, last-ditch challenge to deny Bunny Shaw a free run at goal.
Niedermar, we're seeing a really different side to her game these days, and I think it goes unnoticed at times. I said before, we're so used to seeing her score goals and, you know, get assists, but this side where she's winning the ball back for her team and getting her team on the attack, she's done it so often today and all through the season. She does the dirty stuff that forwards like her don't normally do. She's just got so much to her game. I think she was probably written off too soon a couple of years back when she was having some injury issues, but she's absolutely flied in this system, in this position. It suits her down to the ground, and it's not all just about the goals for her anymore.
She always used to describe herself as a bit of a 9.5 rather than an out-and-out 9 or a 10. And that moment there from Lauren James probably encapsulates Chelsea's afternoon.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That's something you never usually see from a player like Lauren James, so technically gifted. Just mistiming the clearance, and then her face kind of said it all, summed up the mood in that Chelsea team today.
Walsh beaten to it by Niedermar again. She's won all of her duels this afternoon, Viviana Niedermar. As Helen said, really is working hard defensively for her teammates. Oh, Blinkiller Brown has slipped, and it's allowed Kaptein to fire it over the crossbar. And she knows she should have done much better there.
And that there is the difference. That is why we're looking at a Manchester City side probably going to go 12 points clear at the top of the table. You know, a rare mistake from Blinkiller Brown, who I think has been excellent today. But Kaptein just cannot take advantage of it. She doesn't have the composure that we've seen from Carolyn and Bunny Shaw this afternoon.
And this is what Manchester City have been so good at doing. When Chelsea do momentarily get their tails up, City are able to go right down the other end and ask a few questions of their own. Forward it goes, and Carolyn gives chase. Carolyn will get there first. Flag has stayed down. Lovely footwork and just outnumbered in the end, the Brazilian.
Yeah, it's not often she's made the wrong decision today, Carolyn, but I think maybe just could have retained the ball, given it out to Lauren Hemp and kept possession, but tried a little bit too much there. But I suppose when you're 4-0 up and you've got a hat-trick, you can do that.
Well, when you're 4-0 up and you can bring on these changes, it goes to show just how strong your squad is. A huge ovation for their hat-trick hero. Carolyn makes way, and it is a warm welcome back to action for Alba Fugino. First involvement of 2026. Killer Brown, having just made that slip there, is withdrawn for their big winter arrival. Sam Coffey making just her second appearance in Sky Blue.
This is the sort of game, though, that you want to come in and try to establish yourself in the team when your team's, they've done all the hard work now, and it's just about getting yourself on the ball, linking up with the teammates, trying to find your feet without that pressure of we need another goal or we're desperate to keep the ball out the back of the net, which of course they will be. With a 4-goal cushion, she can sort of just grow into the game.
Lauren James also leaving the field to be replaced by Joanna Rytting-Kanerud. Here's Thompson. Nusken's ball. Away by Greenwoods. "25 minutes left for Chelsea to at least give Manchester City something to think about defensively. She can afford to put her feet up. Job very much done this afternoon for Carolyn. Not quite done yet this season. Again, Andre Jegler's refusing to be drawn into all of the title talk ahead of kickoff this afternoon. Said even a victory won't make him complacent. City are going to go all of the way to winning their first league title in a decade. But her hat-trick has certainly taken them a giant step closer.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right to have that mentality, not just because you can't afford the league form to slip off, but the momentum they've gained, they want to carry that on in the other competitions that they remain in as well. Manchester City, you know, disappointing that they're not in the League Cup final, but, you know, for him, if they can keep the form going in every competition, then it could be a really successful season for them.
City have now scored 2 or more goals in 12 of their 14 league games this season. The only 2 in which they haven't, well, the first was against Chelsea on the opening day of the season, the other a 1-0 victory over West Ham United. Otherwise, they have smashed their way past the opposition. To 40 goals scored now in just 14 games in the BWSL. Closest competitor actually is Manchester United. They're 9 goals behind. And we still have another 20 or so minutes to play here. One back by Bright. Thompson first to it. Luskin went for goal. Will fall favourably here for Thompson! Well, there's one back. And that is what they were missing in the first half. Alyssa Thompson coming off the left-hand side and slamming it home. Her 5th goal in the BWSL this season.
Yeah, and Alyssa Thompson's a player that I think can be pretty proud of the impact she's had as a Chelsea player so far this season. And I think, yes, she finds herself in the middle of the pitch there, but kind of starting on the left and coming in causes teams so many more problems. Really well taken finish that. Sets herself up perfectly and then finishes it into the bottom corner. Yamashita with no chance. I mean, we've still got 20 minutes or so to go. It seems unbelievable to talk about the potential of a comeback, but that goal will give Chelsea a lift.
Will it just unnerve the league leaders that bit more? It's in Carnarud. Pass blocked by Hasegawa. And the hosts can just settle things down once again. Chelsea with a bit of a spring in their step now, though. Really Bright. Looking to get that one forward as quickly as possible. You can see her, the Chelsea captain, just encouraging her teammates. There's no more to a one-touch approach here. Time desperately ticking away. It's in Carnarud. Carpenter's delivery. Away by Fujino. Luskin unable to get there from Bright. Safety first by Fujino.
Yeah, with Manchester City just having to withstand a little bit of pressure from Chelsea after that goal. I want to keep it tight, particularly for the next 5-10 minutes or so. Just halt any momentum that Chelsea may have. Also, safe in the knowledge that they do still have a 3-goal lead. There's no need to panic at this point.
German. Luskin robbed of possession. Hemp with her head down and powering forwards. Honey Shaw back for Lauren Hemp. And Hannah Hampton stands tall.
I was just about to say that's a way to halt any momentum by going up the other end and scoring a 5th, but that's a really good save from Hannah Hampton. But again, City on that counter-attack, they're so effective. The way they link up, this time Lauren Hemp finding herself in front of goal, just couldn't quite get it out of her feet enough to get the strike on that she would have liked. But credit to Hannah Hampton, stayed big and makes a save.
Kasparai up to take this corner from the left-hand side. It will be in swinging with her right foot. Luskin Bright defending that near post. Comes from Kasparai, it's flicked in! And Viviana Miedema is able to get her name on the score sheet. But Chelsea threatened a comeback, but that one has just put this game beyond all doubt.
She deserves that, Viv Miedema. I think she's been exceptional today. All of the headlines, rightly so, will go towards Carolyn, but I think Miedema has been the platform of so much good that's come from Manchester City. It's a brilliant delivery from Kasparai. We know how dangerous they are from set pieces and from corners, but that's all too easy for Viv Miedema. Pretty much unchallenged at that near post, gets up and just flicks it beyond Hannah Hampton. No chance for the Chelsea goalkeeper, but that's too easy for Manchester City.
Scores in the Barclays Women's Super League against Chelsea for the 6th time in her career. Viviana Miedema has had to be much more of a creative player for City rather than a goal scorer like we saw her for both Arsenal and the Netherlands. She has been allowed her moment in the spotlight there, though. Maggie Beaver-Jones on by way of response. One for Kira Walsh. City fancy 6. And Hemp's pass just lacking direction. Kaptein. Walks one back. Hasakawa. You could see what she was going for. Unlike her, though, got the execution all wrong.
Yeah, player of her technical ability, you'd want her to hit the target. We're just seeing now this is a big moment for Mary Fowler, getting ready to come on for Manchester City, but again, City's press just before causing Chelsea problems. They haven't learnt today. It's been the catalyst for so many good things from a Manchester City perspective.
15 minutes left, and I get the sense the scoring is not yet finished. It is still so open out there. Grace Clinton and Mary Fowler both about to come on. That's not going to slow things down at all. And what a luxury it is to be able to call upon Mary Fowler again. It's been such a testing period for her, the Australian. So early in her career to have to come back from a ruptured ACL. You can see the reaction there. Bunny Shaw spotting her teammate, ready to come back on for the first time since April last year. Viviana Miedema also makes way for Grace Clinton. And look at the smiles, look at the emotion for Mary Fowler. A long, long road to recovery. And there probably isn't a better situation to come into.
Yeah, fantastic for Mary Fowler. She's probably back on the bench this afternoon thinking that it's just nice to be part of the matchday squad. If it's a tight game, unlikely to get on, but she comes on with 15 minutes to go with her team absolutely cruising, 5-1 up, and it's such a poignant moment for any player coming back from an ACL injury. And as you said, you could see the delight on her teammates' faces. Nobody wants to come off the pitch, but when you see somebody that's been out and suffered for so long, it's always such a wonderful feeling. And Bunny Shaw, Viv Miedema have been excellent today, as they have been all season. Two hugely and supremely intelligent footballers that link up so well with each other and their teammates. Fantastic.
Niskins ball across, looking for Sam Kerr. Slightly ahead of the Australian.
Yeah, fantastic afternoon for Manchester City's front line, that's for sure.
There aren't many managers who are able to rest two of their star players against Chelsea with 15 minutes remaining. City have been so dominant, so commanding in this game. And the drop-off in quality in terms of those coming off the bench It's marginal at best. Here's one of those changes. Fowler out to the left-hand side for Lauren Hemp. Hemp's ball in, and it was Clinton meeting it. Couldn't get enough power on the header to trouble Hampton.
Yeah, we're still seeing Alex Greenwood going on the overlap to Lauren Hemp as well, creating space for her teammate. Doesn't matter that they're 5-1 up and there's only 13, 14 minutes to go. They still want to go and kill this game and Chelsea's title hopes off even further.
Rissin Kanarud. Silke Nusken. Runs into the brick wall that is Alex Greenwood's. Well, this was a big test that Manchester City needed to pass this afternoon. And they have done so with flying colours.
Yeah, they've been exceptional. They really have. They've known when to keep possession, they've known when to go a bit longer, when to sit in and soak up a bit of pressure. Just everything they've done, it feels like there's thought behind it, there's a plan behind it. And then the way they spring on the counter-attack is almost unstoppable, as we've seen on 3 or 4 occasions today. But equally, they can build up play from the back. They're just comfortable in so many areas of the game that other teams aren't.
Well, this victory would make it 13 in a row in the BWSL. The opportunity to equal the records comes next weekend, away to Arsenal at the Emirates. And in their current form, you wouldn't want to bet against it. Clinton keeps it on for Fowler. A bit of rustiness there, perhaps, creeping in. Weight of pass from the Australian. Not what Hemp required.
Going back to the Arsenal fixture next weekend, we know that Arsenal like to spoil a Manchester City party, so they're not going to take anything for granted heading down to London, but they'll be going there full of so much confidence.
Beaver Jones threads one through. It's Rissin Kanarud. Delays and delays, and City get back in their numbers. Well defended by Rebecca Kennard. Look at the celebrations from the City defenders.
Yeah, again, that's a symptom of their mindset at the moment. Rissin Kanarud there, just a touch, have a shot, finish it, put it across the goal. Tries to take another touch, wants to set herself for the perfect opportunity. And actually having a shot sooner would have been your best option. That's just how they are at the moment. That's how they're feeling. Lack of confidence in front of goal, which is something I never thought I'd say about a Chelsea side in the Barclays Women's Super League.
Kerfoot, captain. And here's Rissin Kanarud again, trying to cross it. I wonder whether the angle might have been better for a shot. Sagawa turns into trouble. It's captain again. Clinton can bring it clear.
Yeah, Rissin Kanarud found herself in almost exactly the same position again. This time she takes it early, but she opts for the cross, which for me, just drill it. Have a shot on target, see what the goalkeeper can do about it. If she makes a save, it could fall to a teammate. Trying to cross it in there in a congested space. Manchester City are too good for that.
All given away. And here's Grace Clinton awaiting support from Fujino. Thompson was back defending. She needed to be too. Greenwoods. Foul for Hasegawa. Luskin slips. Rose gets there first. Clinton. Took a wicked deflection. It will be a City corner.
Well, I think Chelsea are unhappy. They've got a player down with a knock. They wanted the ball to be stopped, but it's not a head injury. Neither team's at liberty to put it out. Manchester City carry on, and Grace Clinton tried to go all the way on her own. Has a decent enough effort, but well blocked by Chelsea in the end.
What must she be thinking? Away to Spurs next weekend, but at this point, what can you do to try to stop the City steamroller? Slipped up at Arsenal against Arsenal at home last weekend, and now they have been dispatched by City. 6 massive points in the BWSL title race. May well be that Chelsea's dominance, their monopoly of this competition, is coming to an end at the hands of Manchester City.
Just seeing Aggie Beaver-Jones having her ankle strapped up. Looked like she just rolled it ever so slightly before. Doesn't look too good for at the moment. I'm going to tape it up. I think for Chelsea now, it's more about their own season and what they can get from it, whether that's in the BWSL or if it's in the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League, because they need to do something to halt this sort of rot, if you like, you know. Sounds crazy to say that when it's looking like 2 defeats on the bounce. There's many teams that have had much worse rots than that, but for me, the performances this season haven't been very Chelsea-like, and that's what they need to do. They need to get back to being them. And I think for Sonia Bonpastor, I'm not one to question a world-class coach such as herself, but I wonder if there's a couple of decisions she's made, not just today, but in the last few weeks, that have maybe just not been the right ones for her team. I think Ritten Kaneryd, for example, I like her in the starting lineup. Not sure why she's not been playing the last couple of games. I think the change in shape today, while I'm not against it, has it played out how she would have hoped it to? Obviously it hasn't. So there's a few things that maybe she'll be questioning, as well as, you know, at the end of the day, the players on the pitch, they're not performing at the moment.
They will fall to third in the BWSL table. Those Chelsea fans who have travelled a long old way to come to the northwest to support their side, well, they're looking pretty shell-shocked at the moment. Trying to think of the last time that we saw Chelsea dismantled in this way. Jorginho was offside. Maybe the Champions League final a few seasons ago. Barcelona was so much better than them. Jorginho trying to bundle her way through, will bundle her way through. Had a hefty fall at the end of it. hasn't moved, and it's a really painful one for the winger, who is only just back in the squad from injury.
Yeah, lovely run from her, brilliant run from Grace Clinton to open up the gap. Gets a little bit of luck on the way through. Oof, absolutely not taken out in a sort of foul from Ellie Carpenter, but just on the follow through, just catches her, and the way that her body's in the air sort of flips her around. It is an awkward landing, and there's a little bit of concern for her from both sets of players.
She almost went face first into the turf there. Quite some speed as well. Obvious concern from those around her, none more so than Yui Hasegawa. Although the break into a smile there indicates her teammate is okay. Three goals for Carolyn. Three very different strikes to show off her quality.
Yeah, fantastic from her. The second one, definitely my favourite. So much goes through your mind when you're in on goal like that. The whole half to run into, facing the goalkeeper. And the little dink over Hannah Hampton was wonderful. I wonder if Bunny Shaw and co have just seen a replay of that incident with Fujino there, because they looked a little bit surprised by what they've seen. She still is face down on the floor, which isn't a good sign, but as you said, Hasegawa did break into a smile, so hopefully they're just being overcautious, and rightly so. She'll be up on her feet soon.
There's Alyssa Thompson, who pulled one back for Chelsea, hoping to spark the most unlikely of all comebacks at 4-0 down. Andre Eglert's side did what they have done throughout the course of this campaign. They decided that attack was the best form of defence.
And as football fans, that's what we want to see, isn't it? We don't want to see teams trying to shut up shop. We want to see entertaining football, and at the moment the brand of football that Manchester City are playing under Andre Eglert is fantastic to watch. The players look like they're enjoying it. They're working hard for each other in and out of possession, and they've thoroughly deserved the scoreline so far today.
There will be a healthy amount of stoppage time, 12 minutes. Fujino now sat back up again, so that's a really positive sign, laughing and joking with the medical staff too. Concussion protocol, of course, taken so seriously at top-level sports, as it should be. And it is important to reach a conclusion in which we know Fujino is definitely okay to continue. Or indeed, if she does need to be withdrawn. She's still holding her head. So Laura Coombs is ready to join the action for the final 10 minutes here that have been added on. More informed, it will actually be 12 minutes from the restart, so don't be alarmed if we tick over that. It's not a return from injury that Fujino would have dreamed of. Most importantly, she is able to walk off the pitch, and she seems as okay as she can be. So Laura Coombs on in her place. Immediately, we'll get her first couple of touches. Kasparai, cut out by Germer. Thompson can't prevent that one from going out and behind for another City corner.
Yeah, probably the only blemish on what has been a fantastic day for Manchester City, seeing Fujino go off with what could have been quite a nasty looking injury, but good to see her walking around the pitch. It's a good applause from the home fans.
In from Greenwoods. Away by Bright. Sagawa met it on the volley. It may bounce favourably here for City. And Clinton's shot was blocked.
A wry smile from Grace Clinton. I wonder if she feels she could have done better. Wicked delivery from Alex Greenwood. Not clearing their lines properly, Chelsea. Just a little toe at the last second from Nusken there.
This one a bit flatter in terms of trajectory from Alex Greenwood. There's Clinton. Now Coffey. Get the final 14 minutes or so against London City Lionesses on her debut. Fowler, really smart turn. He's looking for Clinton. Won't fall for Lauren Hemp, but she will be able to use her pace to get there ahead of Ritin Kanaruj. Run away from Coombs.
Oh, relentless though, aren't they, Manchester City? Even now, into stoppage time, they want to get another goal. They want to score more, they want to really put the nail in the coffin.
Sagawa for Coffey. Sagawa, the perfect player to have in these situations where you are protecting a lead. You just need to hold on to the ball. Very rarely does she make the wrong decision.
She's like a metronome, isn't she? Just tick, 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 tick all the time. Gets the ball, gives it, gets the ball, gives it. Absolutely the player you want in there.
Here's Hemp. Away from Carpenter. Turning on the afterburners, Lauren Hemp. She was well matched by the Australian.
Yeah, for a second there, he thought she'd got away from Ellie Carpenter, but credit to the Chelsea fullback, stuck to her task.
Clinton for Hemp. There's Coffey. Lovely first touch. Right, cut out the cross. Well worked by Fowler. One back by Clinton. Hemp's delivery. Baltimore did really well to get that one away with two very neat touches. Nuskin. Hasegawa jumping in. Coombs was urged to shoot. She finds Hemp instead. One for Thompson to chase. Yamashita's starting position was good. And that is an anywhere will do clearance from the keeper.
And they're not afraid to do that, City. You know, they play nice football, they play out the back more often than not, but they're not afraid to go longer when it's necessary. And you have to say that since the changes have been made, there's been no drop-off in quality, really, from Manchester City. Players in there now that probably hoping to get a bit more game time in the coming weeks, showing that they're more than capable of doing that.
Alex Greenwood's departing for the final few moments here, which does allow Leila Uabi to get a few more minutes under her belt. She did start 10 of the first 11 in the BWSL this season, hasn't featured in the last two though. Returned to full training a couple of days ago. Here's Clinton. Coombs. Oh, and Hemp meets it. And Germa will scramble it away. There's a save Hampton needed to make. She was indebted to her defender for clearing her lines. Down the other end, what a Chelsea got. Ritin Carnarouge. Carpenter urged forward now. Cut out by Hasegawa. And Clinton spotted Hemp, who's in no particular rush to get forwards. May just be feeling the pace of this game this late on. Very happy to just calm things down a bit. They don't want to expose themselves to another Chelsea counter-attack. Manchester City.
All of a sudden became a little bit end-to-end there, didn't it? Really good opportunity for Manchester City at one end and Canarid forcing a save at the other.
Hemp now with a bit more support. Fowler losing out. Hemp gets it back. And Carpenter nipped in right in the nick of time.
You get the feeling they want that sixth goal, don't they?
Seems a long time ago now, the opening goal. But that did come from a Manchester City corner from Carolyn. And it comes from Kasparai. Eva Jones away. That's back in by Coffey. Kasparai's ball was looking for Clinton. Anna Hampton quickly off her line.
Yeah, clever attempt at playing it back in from Coffey. I think she's looked pretty good since coming on. Really solid in that middle of the park, really alive, busy.
Thompson too quick for Canuck. Options in the middle for her. She decided to go alone. And it was Jade Rose back there covering for her fellow centre-back.
Yeah, rare sloppy moment from Manchester City. As one player makes a mistake, there's another one backing them up, ready to clear up the danger.
We've had 13 minutes now added on. Is there still time for Chelsea to go away with a second goal this afternoon? Millie Brights, what's on his way through, it will be another Chelsea corner. Thompson. Looking towards Beaver Jones, and that's comfortable for Yamashita. But Manchester City haven't just made a statement, they have blown Chelsea out of the water. They're relentless, they are powerful, and they have been devastating. Today they make it 13 wins in a row to march 11 points clear at the top of the table and take a colossal stride towards their first Barclays Women's Super League title in a decade. Carolyn was their hat-trick hero, Shaw was inevitable, and Miedema was the cherry on top. They've hit 5 here to brush Chelsea aside. They set their sights on Arsenal next. 8 games remain, 24 points still up for grabs. Manchester City may already have one hand on the trophy. Full time here is Manchester City 5, Chelsea 1.